It's the all-new Sports Visions with Dale Williams and DJ Jones, your hometown sports guys. Two damn good dogs.
Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend Dale Williams. How are you?
What's up, player?
I'm good, man. We are at the office. This is our new studio set, and when we're in town, 2979 North Lake Parkway, the Office Sports Bar and Grill. Dale, I'm telling you, the food is fantastic.
Food is great, DJ. Avian's great place to watch some football games.
Coming up in just a little bit, we have an opportunity to talk about college recruiting, and of course we have one of the local Suns as one of the favorites in the country in college football. We'll also talk a little about what it takes to recruit, and Dale, of course, Auburn and Alabama will be back at it this week.
That's right, DJ, and really the theme of the show, you can't lose in November.
All right, all that and a whole lot more coming up next on Sports Visions.
Every remaining 2017 Nissan must go at Headquarter Nissan. Over 400 left, and they're all priced to sell. Drive a new Rogue for just $19,800. $19,800. Drive a new Altima for just $17,540. $17,540. That's right, a new Rogue just $19,800. A new Altima just $17,540. And they're all backed by a lifetime warranty. Hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone.
Columbus, it's a Nissan town.
Welcome back to Sports Vision, Dale. I'll tell you what, when you talk about college football, and you have to be happy for Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs moved up to number 2 in this week's AP Associated Press poll. But you and I both know that a lot of that credit has to go to the recruiting that those coaches have been doing on the Bulldog staff. More importantly, Dale McGee, of course, a local hero, hometown hero, former high school coach, former local star here at Kendrick High School. But Dale McGee has gone out and delivered some very, very top 4 and 5 star prospects.
I mean, that's been big for Dale, and really when you are rated the #1 recruiter in the whole country, that's big, and that's volumes for Dale. I mean, really good guy, humble guy, seemed to be great when he gets in somebody's home or he gets a prospect. I mean, really look at the running back core of Georgia. He's recruited all those guys, and when you're a 5-star player, you got all your top recruiters coming in the house. But Dale's been closing on these guys.
And what's so difficult about today in recruiting is that, you got this new millennial athlete, and I know guys like us, old school, who believe in a different way of doing things, but Dale obviously has an opportunity, or has had the opportunity to deal with these kids, and he understands and can get down on their level. He obviously can go in and persuade their parents that the University of Georgia is where they need to be. But more importantly, I'm just impressed with his ability to communicate with these young athletes.
Well, that's been big, DJ, to be, like you said, the millennial kids, they're a little different, DJ, but at the same time, I think Dale has enough experience from being from Carver to Georgia Southern and being a former running back, DJ. I think he knows what it takes to be a good running back, but I think the biggest thing that he doesn't probably get the credit for is this, that he knows how to go into a family's house, go to the mom, go to the dad, the decision maker, and make that decision and make their family feel comfortable about, let me have your kid for 4 years.
Well, first and foremost, it all started at Carver High School just a few years ago when he won the state championship. Again, that was huge in this community. We had the opportunity to see that up close and personal. But more importantly, I think the best kept secret about Dale, I don't know if it's a secret when he's out recruiting, the fact that he was a star football player in high school, but he went on to play and start at defensive back at Auburn University. He was also a draft choice of the Arizona Cardinals in the National Football League, and a lot of people don't realize Dale has had experience in the National Football League. He's also played in, I believe, the World League, when the World League of American Football, when that league was going. But very, very ambitious young man. I remember as I was working with the War Dogs about 15, 16 years ago, and Dale was just deciding to come to an end with his career. He was looking to get into coaching. And he came to me at the War Dogs. I was the vice president of operations at that time, wanting to get a shot at coaching. Well, I was a little selfish. I wanted Dale to play for us. But he had convinced himself that he wanted to coach, but he went on out to Greenville, and that's where it all got started.
Well, really one of the things, a couple of things that stand out when you start talking about Dale Forrest, he's been groomed for a time like this. I mean, from playing a great player, a running back when he was in high school, to just recruiting, from the standpoint of being over at Auburn, knowing the behind the scenes of what actually players go through, then the Georgia Southern piece. I think really he has been groomed, and every area of his coaching experience has led to him being a #1 recruiter in the whole country.
Now, I know when you talk about a guy like that seems like he's just on a fast track straight to the top. You know, ultimately, I guess you could ask Dale. I'm sure he would want to be a head coach at the level he's at now on the Division I level, but you also have to understand that, you know, it's a process, as they like to say. And somewhere soon, I'm sure he will have an opportunity to be an offensive coordinator, and I think that would be realistic to know that Dale can actually have the horizon of new head coach on his horizon once he becomes an offensive coordinator and is successful at it.
Yeah, because really a lot of people don't realize that to be a recruiter, you still got to be a coach too. And to do both of them and do both of them very well, it takes a lot of time and effort on the road, hard work. And like I said, you would never know that it's just such a hard job because they'll make it look so easy.
And one thing about it, that's how they get paid. You know, they get the better athletes, the better the team, and the more wins that they have and the more money that the coaches can make. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break. This is Sports Visions.
We're here at Headquarters Nissan's 3rd annual charity golf tournament to support Mercy Med. Great turnout. Weather was a little rocky this morning, but it turned out to be a beautiful 62-degree weather today. So we thank all of our sponsors for coming out. Also, we'd like to say thank you for everybody that came out to Headquarters Nissan to see the Heisman Trophy. What a great event it was. Nissan sponsoring the Heisman House, which is very cool during college football. And I'd like to say, would somebody please take Alabama out of #1? Somebody's got to come out and do it. It could be Auburn. They're looking good right now. But thanks for everybody coming to Headquarters Nissan, and we look forward to seeing y'all next year at our 4th annual charity golf tournament.
And welcome back to Sports Visions. Dale, it's time for us to talk college football. And
right.
I know that Auburn and Alabama both had the week off, so I'm sure that they all rested up. But we're going to start off at the top of a team that moved from one slot from 3 to #2. And it's the Georgia Bulldogs at the world's largest cocktail party, man, went down and embarrassed the Florida Gators to the tune of them actually being, I think, having a part to do with McElwain stepping down.
Well, you know, really, I think really they scored 42-7. Just the atmosphere, just the intensity of the fan, and just really all week what the Florida people were saying. You know, he was on the way out. But we don't want to take away from the 42-7 whooping that was, you know, was put on the Gators. But I think one of the biggest things I'm very impressed with is the running game. I mean, Sonny Michel, you know, the big runs that he made, they were big. To be able to run against Florida, that was impressive. I think the offensive line that they've assembled, DJ, is probably one of the better offensive line that Georgia's had in a long time. And we're talking about a long time. But the big physical guys, athletic guys that the Georgia has on their line, really it's really showing right now.
I was really impressed with the total domination on the defensive side of the ball. And, you know, when you talk about, you know, basically shutting Florida out, they scored late in the game. But, you know, I can remember back in 1982, we beat the Florida Gators 44-0, and that was unheard of at that time. And we hadn't had anything close to that since. In 2008, I believe they did also beat them pretty good. But, man, just defense playing lights out. The running game is sensational, one of the top in the nation. The Georgia Bulldogs right now are in the driver's seat. And, you know, you got South Carolina coming to town again, you know, a team that's a young team, a team that's very athletic, a team that's very capable. But, again, with the focus that the Coach Smart has had with keeping in line with the team in line with taking care of business 1 week at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time. I like it.
I like it too, DJ. One game at a time. It's still a lot of football to be played. All these cliches, they're in line, DJ. And really, every game that they play now is for the SEC championship. And you got to prepare yourself for playing in an SEC championship game. You got South Carolina this week. And, you know, you got Auburn still to play. It's a lot of big games for Georgia to play. And I think hats off to Kirby Smart for keeping these guys focused on the mission at hand.
Let's move right along. The Alabama Crimson Tide, we mentioned before, was off this past week. And, of course, they have a big game against LSU. I say big game because LSU has somewhat been rejuvenated.
Well, you could say they're rejuvenated, you know, Orgeron has these guys playing and staying focused. You know, they can come in and play the upset, you know, villain. Again, they're going to be an upset, you know, if they beat Alabama. But I think, man, Alabama has a kind of swag on them this year, DJ, that everybody else is playing for second. But we, again, Nick's going to keep these guys focused. This is a big game. It's a rivalry game, and anything can happen. you take the records out of these kind of games.
You know, as I think about Nick Saban and how he tries to find a way to motivate his team each and every week, obviously with the University of Georgia receiving some first-place votes, taking some away from the Tide in this week's AP poll, I'm sure that he wants to make a statement to show those voters out there, to show those football fans out there in America that they are number one, because as it's playing out, it sounds like Georgia is gaining ground on that number one spot.
I think they are, DJ, but really we can't really tell, because this is going to be the first vote from the College Football Committee in itself. Okay, the playoff committee is going, okay, do we put Georgia one, or we get Alabama one, or we flip them? But I think Alabama is deserving for being number one. I think Georgia's still playing and still got a lot of big games, but as they keep on continuing to win, I think they'll get better.
All right, let's move over to the Plains, where the Auburn Tigers also had a week off, and they will be playing against, again, a team that's very capable, and I know Gus Malzahn has been held to the fire, and, you know, it's no different this week. The Auburn Tigers are expected to win, but again, they're going up against a very good Kevin Sumlin football team.
Very good Kevin Sumlin football team. DJ, Texas A&M is still a good team and can easily upset Auburn. Auburn has to do like everybody else got to do this month. They got to stay focused on the game at hand. You know, from the LSUs to the Georgia to Alabama, you still got to focus on the game that you're in, because really the records are not important right now. But you cannot lose in November, DJ. Then the record becomes very important.
I tell you what, that dynamic duo of running backs, Karan Johnson and Cameron Petterway over at Auburn, man, those guys are finally healthy, so they're going to do some damage. And again, that defense has been stout. It's
been stout defense. They've been consistent on the defensive side of the football. Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator, has these guys playing. Rodney always has his defensive lineman playing. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they play against Texas A&M, because really Texas A&M really is a traditional spoiler this time of the year, and they can spoil a lot of things for the Auburn Tigers.
And last but not least, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets obviously had an admirable game against the Clemson Tigers. Unfortunately, came up a little short, and but again, Paul Johnson, I like where they're going. They're definitely destined for a bowl. And, of course, for our guy, Taquan Marshall, you know, he leads the ACC in rushing as well as touchdowns, and, what an accomplishment. But they got Virginia coming in.
They got Virginia coming in, DJ, but really just to recap last week's game, it's going to get down to the offensive line for Georgia Tech. They got to keep Taquan protected, even in the option, DJ. And, you know, if you don't have a good offensive line, it's going to be hard for you to run that triple option when you got to have guys in your backfield. So it's going to be interesting that Georgia Tech gets better with their offensive line, the protection of Taquan. Defensively, they seem to be there and they're making plays, but it's going to be an interesting game against Virginia. Again, upset alert.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Chick-fil-A picks of the week.
All right, this week we got Alabama against LSU, Auburn against Texas A&M, Georgia will host South Carolina at Sanford Stadium, and Georgia Tech will travel to Charlottesville, Virginia. Miami will play Virginia Tech, Oklahoma against Oklahoma State, and TCU against Texas. Don't forget to email all your picks to Dale Williams at sportsvisionsusa.com.
Hello, my name is Mike Stone. I've had the privilege to serve as a volunteer at the Carpenters Way Ranch for over 20 years. Please join us for our annual Giving Childhood a Chance luncheon on November 7th at St. Luke Ministry Center in Columbus. This year's guest speaker will be Rudy Ruettiger of Notre Dame football fame, whose story was captured in the acclaimed movie Rudy. For more information, please go to themethodisthome.org/events. Our House Carpenters Way is a ministry of the Methodist Home for Children and Youth.
Come on out to the Office Sports Bar and Grill. Whether meeting up with friends, colleagues, or family, you will feel right at home. We have live music from local artists, happy hour from 4 to 6 daily, and outstanding daily specials. The Office Sports Bar and Grill is not your typical sports bar. Come eat and drink like a boss.
Every remaining 2017 Nissan must go at Headquarter Nissan. Over 400 left, and they're all priced to sell. Drive a new Rogue for just $19,800. $19,800. Drive a new Altima for just $17,540. $17,540. That's right, a new Rogue just $19,800. A new Altima just $17,540. And they're all backed by a lifetime warranty. Hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone.
Columbus, it's a Nissan town.
You okay?
What happened?
Dad kind of walked into my swing.
Don't you mean Dad kind of ruined our Hawaii fund?
I should go to the hospital.
There goes the airfare. I don't think health insurance will cover all of that. Without that cash from Aflac, we might have to choose between Hawaii or your face.
Hawaii.
What?
Oh, Hawaii.
You might have less coverage than you think. Visit Aflac.com and keep your lifestyle healthy.
Aflac!
Attention Columbus, Fort Benning, Phoenix City, and the surrounding areas. Sports Visions Entertainment presents the Party Bus Lifestyle. Take a trip with us. Don't worry about driving. 15, 25, 30 of your sorority sisters, fraternity brothers, family, or friends. Get to travel in luxurious lifestyle, in-town or out-of-town visits. Come travel with us and experience the exclusive luxury Party Bus Lifestyle. Call 706-681-1136 or 706-681-5192. And welcome back to Sports Visions. It's now time for our On the Wall segment, Dale, and this is an opportunity for us to, of course, respond to our viewers, our callers, our Facebook friends, and all the people that email us wanting to know about what's going on in the world of sports, or more importantly, what we think about the topics of the day, of the week. And in this particular case, the University of Florida just let go of Coach McElwain, of course, after 2.5 years into his deal. He was a guy that came on the scene and took his team to an SEC East title right away. But here in the last few months, for whatever reason, the new athletic director and Coach McElwain don't see eye to eye, and he was asked to step down. Actually, a mutual understanding for him to leave.
Well, you know, DJ, it's a lot goes into college coaching right now. You know, for the McElwain piece, they never blend, you know, and the Jeremy Foley stepping down as the AD and making a transition, I think was an ideal situation for him to get out, because the new AD, he wasn't his guy. So I think really, you know, the losing down in Florida after being spoiled by Steve Spurrier and Urban Myers for years, the climate and the culture in Florida is basically changing. They're not going to accept losing, and I think McElwain did a lot of things that kind of shot himself in the foot, but I think really people just don't realize how much stuff a head coach is really responsible for in this day and time.
Well, one thing about it is, as you mentioned it before, coming off of a Spurrier offense and, of course, the offensive production of, you know, when you talk about Urban Meyer, you know, McElwain was supposed to be another savior, an offensive savior, and he came in talking about, you know, what he could do. And even though they did win, he won the SEC East his second year in or so. But the bottom line is they were 112th out of all the Division I football teams as far as offensive production, and you know that's just not going to get it at Florida. And the fact of the matter is that, like you said, when you got a new boss coming in, as he did with the AD coming over, who's familiar with the Dan Mullins of the world down at Mississippi State, who's familiar with the Charlie Strongs of the world, this guy obviously has a little bit more idea of a person that he has to bring in to get this program, because this is a national championship level program, because they've won in recent times, and people in Florida had stopped coming to the games. The ticket sales were down. They weren't as enthusiastic about the program, and the overall morale was just was shot. So they had to make a change.
Yeah, from top to bottom. And, you know, like I said, you know, one thing about Florida, they have a spirit of excellence down there too. Not in just football, all the sports. And I think really a thing that took a whole spin on this whole firing was the culture. The actual culture of the football program. Those 12 kids or so that got suspended for the whole year. I mean, really, you can't compete like that. But then at the same time, you know, it's a statement called what? Institutional control. And when that coach loses institutional control over their player, you can best believe something big is going to happen, you know, even from the facility standpoint. And we've heard that facility story before, DJ, about, you know, we don't have the money or the funds to get these facilities done. And really, in a recruiting sense, facilities are just as big as the biggest thing in your program, really.
Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. When you're talking about football on this level, of course, when you're talking about the SEC, the Floridas, the Georgias, the Alabamas, it's all about winning. And, of course, winning brings on, of course, more money. And more money
right.
becomes more pressure on these coaches. And you know what? God bless them. I know that they make the, you know, $5, $4, $5, $6, $7 million a year. But you know what? They deserve it, because they bring in tens of millions of dollars to the university. And, again, their job depends on wins and losses.
Wins and losses, DJ. But, you know, one of the biggest things, the biggest thing that you're going to hear is buyout clause. You know, a coach, McElwain, he can leave with a good attitude, you still got to pay me. And you know, and like what we always say, DJ, they're just gonna slow pay them. You know, if you owe $12 million, they ain't gonna just write you a check for $12 million. It's gonna take some time for them to break it down, but they're gonna pay you. But I think that one of the biggest things is when you take on a head coaching job in a big time Division I school that brings in hundreds of millions of dollars, you better be prepared to handle from the ADs of the world to the alumni of the world. You got to handle a lot of stuff, but most of all, you still got to have control of your program and your kids.
Lastly, when you say, what do you expect? Well, the folks at Florida, here they are 2.5, almost 3 years into their program and not showing any progress. The University of Georgia hired Kirby Smart 2 years ago. Right now, they are in national contention. So that shows people, or that gives people an idea that, hey, we don't have to wait 3, 4, 5 years to win. We could win right away.
That's right, DJ. And one big thing, and if I'm a Florida guy, I'm kind of concerned too, because I've never seen the talent level as low at Florida than it is right now. And that's one thing, we played against Florida all our lives. But at the same time, to see that talent level be down that low, but really the fan participation piece, I've never seen it being that low, DJ. To look at a Gator Bowl or down in Jacksonville doing a cocktail party, that you have that many empty seats, that can tell you, hey, something's getting ready to happen.
All right, we'll take a short break. This is Sports Visions.
This is Darryl Bird at Headquarters Nissan. When Dale and DJ go on the road with Sports Visions, they go on the road with a Nissan vehicle. For all your Nissan vehicle needs, call Darryl at Headquarters Nissan at 706-304-9681.
Come on out to the Office Sports Bar and Grill. Whether meeting up with friends, colleagues, or family, you will feel right at home. We have live music from local artists, happy hour from 4 to 6 daily, and outstanding daily specials. The Office Sports Bar and Grill is not your typical sports bar. Come, eat and drink like a boss.
Hello, my name is Mike Stone. I've had the privilege to serve as a volunteer at the Carpenters Way Ranch for over 20 years. Please join us for our annual Giving Childhood a Chance luncheon on November 7th at St. Luke Ministry Center in Columbus. This year's guest speaker will be Rudy Ruettiger of Notre Dame football fame, whose story was captured in the acclaimed movie Rudy. For more information, please go to themethodisthome.org/events. Our House Carpenters Way is a ministry of the Methodist Home for Children and Youth.
You okay?
What happened?
Dad kind of walked into my swing.
Huh?
Don't you mean Dad kind of ruined our Hawaii fund?
I should go to the hospital.
There goes the airfare. I don't think health insurance will cover all of that.
I can't see.
Without that cash from Aflac, we might have to choose between Hawaii or your face.
Hawaii.
What?
Oh, Hawaii.
You might have less coverage than you think. Visit Aflac.com and keep your lifestyle healthy.
Aflac! Every remaining 2017 Nissan must go at Headquarters Nissan. Over 400 left, and they're all priced to sell. Drive a new Rogue for just $19,800. $19,800. Drive a new Altima for just $17,540. $17,540. That's right, a new Rogue just $19,800. A new Altima just $17,540. And they're all backed by a lifetime warranty. Hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone.
Columbus, it's a Nissan town.
Attention Columbus, Fort Benning, Phoenix City, and the surrounding areas. Sports Visions Entertainment presents the Party Bus Lifestyle. Take a trip with us. Don't worry about driving. 15, 25, 30 of your sorority sisters, fraternity brothers, family, or friends. Get to travel in luxurious lifestyle, in town or out of town visits. Come travel with us and experience the exclusive luxury Party Bus Lifestyle. Call 706-681-1136 or 706-681-5192. And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. Dale, I tell you, that's an exciting week of football, exciting weekend of football. Good to see that Auburn and Alabama is back on slate, of course, well rested. And I'm really eager to see Petway and Johnson together healthy finally.
Finally we're going to see what kind of running game Auburn has, and I think really the running game really would be great for Auburn to close out this season with, because for the running, Gus is a master, a magician at play-action passes. And if the running game's going, they can really get some things done passing the ball. But I think one of the biggest things, you got to keep those two big guys ready and able. But November's here, DJ, and It's time for some money games right now.
Also very proud of Dale McGee, of course, the former Columbus native who is now the running back coach at the University of Georgia, who has been selected or ranked as the top recruiter in all of college football. And I tell you, that's some pretty heady stuff, man.
That's big, and really hats off to Dale, because it is a hard job. Trust me, to be a head coach in a Division I program like Georgia and be the top recruiter, you know, hey, hats off to you.
And you know what? We can't leave out Major League Baseball because the World Series was everything it was cracked up to be, man. Both Houston and L.A. very deserving, man. Back and forth, it was 2-2. Then, of course, the big win by the Astros put them up 3-2. By the time this show airs, there's no telling who would have won. But I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. I'm going to say that the Houston Astros have taken it to the hoop.
Well, you know, I'm a traditionalist, and I think the Kershaw piece, him pitching, you got a Kershaw or a Sandy Koufax, as the old boys would say, you got a chance.
All right. Now, again, NBA season is going in full effect. We expect to be going into the newly renovated Phillips Arena real soon. And, you know, you might not necessarily know the names of the Hawks. They're not household names like LeBron and CP3 and all the rest of those guys, but you can't count those Hawks out.
You can't count them out, DJ, but I think it's almost going to be like an expansion year. You got to get some players. And really, I can't wait to talk to Dominique about the real program, because he's been on a lot of ownerships, and I want to see what's different about this ownership than anything.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for all the sports we have for you today. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.
Be sure to check out our Facebook page, Sports Visions TV Show, or our website, www.sportsvisionsusa.com.
Every remaining 2017 Nissan must go at Headquarter Nissan. Over 400 left, and they're all priced to sell. Drive a new Rogue for just $19,800. $19,800. Drive a new Altima for just $17,540. $17,540. That's right, a new Rogue just $19,800. A new Altima just $17,540. And they're all backed by a lifetime warranty. Hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone.
Columbus, it's a Nissan town.
Attention Columbus, Fort Benning, Phoenix City, and the surrounding areas. Sports Visions Entertainment presents the Party Bus Lifestyle. Take a trip with us. Don't worry about driving. 15, 25, 30 of your sorority sisters, fraternity brothers, family, or friends. Get to travel in luxurious lifestyle, in-town or out-of-town visits. Come travel with us and experience the exclusive luxury Party Bus Lifestyle. Call 706-681-1136 or 706-681-5192.
Come on out to the Office Sports Bar and Grill. Whether meeting up with friends, colleagues, or family, you will feel right at home. We have live music from local artists, happy hour from 4 to 6 daily, and outstanding daily specials. The Office Sports Bar and Grill is not your typical sports bar. Come, eat and drink like a boss.
Hello, my name is Mike Stone. I've had the privilege to serve as a volunteer at the Carpenters Way Ranch for over 20 years. Please join us for our annual Giving Childhood a Chance luncheon on November 7th at St. Luke Ministry Center in Columbus. This year's guest speaker will be Rudy Ruettiger of Notre Dame football fame, whose story was captured in the acclaimed movie Rudy. For more information, please go to themethodisthome.org/events. Our house, Carpenters Way, is a ministry of the Methodist Home for Children and Youth.
Are you okay?
What happened?
Dad kind of walked into my swing.
Don't you mean Dad kind of ruined our Hawaii fund?
I should go to the hospital.
There goes the airfare. I don't think health insurance will cover all of that. Without that cash from Aflac, we might have to choose between Hawaii or your face.
Hawaii.
What?
Oh, Hawaii.
You might have less coverage than you think. Visit Aflac.com and keep your lifestyle healthy.
Aflac!